Q&A session. I'll pass the word now to Luca to give us the engineering updates.
Thank you, Angie, and Alberto is here with me, so I'll just introduce him. Welcome, Alberto, and as usual, let's start with Zendoo. We have quite a number of items today related to Zendoo.
Okay, yes, thanks, Luca. I'll try to be quick, or better, as quick as possible. Okay, regarding Zendoo, and in particular regarding seed sidechain withdrawals, the development has been completed. The first level of code review was already done. The changes have been already applied, and so now it's pending just the final code review. And also for main chain backward transfer request, also here, development is done, and the first code review already performed and the related changes, and the final review is pending also here. Okay, always related to Zendoo, we started also the development of the customizable certificate fields, and in particular the replacement of main chain blockation, cumulative sidechain block transaction commitment tree. Okay, just a couple of words about this. Why do we need customizable certificate fields? So this is an important piece that is needed by the seed sidechain withdrawals procedure, because it provides the flexibility for the sidechain to publish something proven that can be verified in the main chain, because these customizable certificate fields will be part of the verification process of the snark proof. So they will be part of the public inputs of the proof, and so they are somehow we can see it as verified by the sidechain, no? And the main chain will know if they have respected the sidechain rules, and so we will have these custom fields in the main chain that we can consider as valid in the main chain. And these fields can be used in the process of creating a seed sidechain withdrawal request. So, as probably you remember, in the seed sidechain withdrawal request, we want to provide the possibility for a user to prove to still have some funds in the seed sidechain, even if the sidechain is not live anymore. And as you can see, this is strictly affected by the structure of the sidechain. So, for example, if they manage the coin, let me say, the user funds in a UTXO structure, this is something that is specific to a sidechain. You have to remember that our system, from the main chain perspective, is totally decoupled from the sidechain structure. So, how to be able to provide this possibility to the users, no, to prove something different, some statement different regarding the ownership of some funds in the sidechain. And our solution to this are the customizable certificate fields. So sidechain can, with its own structure, will define some kind of custom fields. And these custom fields will be passed within the certificate and will be validated by the proof. And then these fields can be then reused when creating the seed sidechain withdrawal request. So this is a key point, a key element for seed sidechain withdrawal. And design activities for these are already done, and the development already started. Another thing, always related to Zendoo, is the the name of this is quite long, but I will explain it later. This sidechain block transaction commitment tree, and the usage of these instead of the usage of main chain block cache in the certificate proof verification. Okay, long story short, this is an optimization for allowing the sidechain to prove in a more efficient way from, let me say, from the SQL perspective, from the Snark perspective, to have processed all the sidechain related information of the main chain blocks of an epoch. So we want to be sure that when a certificate is published in main chain, all the main chain, let me say, all the sidechain related of the main chain blocks of that epoch were processed by the sidechain. And this is important because we will be sure, for example, that we processed all the forward transfers to that sidechain. And so there is no way for a malicious actor that even had the majority in the sidechain to omit their processing. And so it's important to provide a way for the circuit on the sidechain side to an efficient way to prove that they processed all the blocks. And working with main chain block hashes, our hashes in main chain is very inefficient in the circuit. So we structured another, let me say, another tree that is the main chain is keeping track of, and in an efficient way as well. And this is passed by the main chain during the certificate verification. And so this is the way that we really improved also this processing in the sidechain. And just the last thing about this could be even used, and we are exploring the possibility to use it in the future for cross sidechain communication. But that's not the story. We'll talk about this in next months. Okay, let's switch topic and go on with Zendoo. Some members from the community highlighted poor performances in the syncing and reindex phase, and we started inspecting more in details the issue and found a really interesting thing. So you remember when we introduced the graph system, the graph system verifier instead of PHGR, and we found that the checkpoints were not taken in consideration during the verification process. So, for example, some expensive checks for transaction are not performed before having reached the checkpoint. So the checkpoints are very important, to speed up this kind of operations. And so, and we realized that the graph system verifier was always invoked also on these. Also, if we have not yet reached the checkpoint, so if there was a checkpoint not yet reached. So, moreover, we found even another small optimization also for PHGR when checkpoints are enabled. So, and we also seen that even Zcash had the same issue before, and they fixed it. I mean, in a very similar way some months ago. So, long story short, our first test says that we are. I mean, to be confirmed, but it seems that, for example, the reindex passed from the order of magnitude of days to hours. So we will provide, let me say, more precise numbers, but it seems a very huge performance improvement that, I mean, will make the syncing phase and reindex phase much more faster. And by the way, this was the first task of for our new Paolo, another Paolo that joined the team, and so I mean, congrats, because it was really a very good task for him. Okay, let's go on with the proving system and GPU performance improvements. I mean, here we finalized all the tasks and estimated all of them, and we already started the implementation of the proving system. And in particular, we started working on the co-boundary sum check implementation that is already done, and the first level of code review is already in progress. Okay, last thing is about the sidechain SDK, and in particular the base fee scheme. So currently, this base fee scheme will allow us to provide a way for incentivizing block forgers, even if there are no to submit a block, even if there are no transactions included in the block, because you remember in the sidechain we are not creating new coins, so we are say the full system is incentivized by transaction fees. So we have to provide an incentive for block forger to submit blocks, even if there are no transactions for that block. So long story short, we started working also on these for the sidechain SDK. And so this is something that is proceeding. And the last thing about the SDK, or better, related to the sidechain side, is the WebSocket for the Explorer. The WebSocket implementation for the Explorer. And this has been developed, and the first level of code review already done. A few changes were requested, and now those changes are being applied. I think that's all. I don't know if it was short, but this was the items.
Yes, this is it. Thank you, Alberto, and back to Angie.
Awesome. Thank you, Luca and Alberto, for the great updates. Let's continue with Chronic to give us the infrastructure and node system updates.
Yeah, happy Monday, everyone. So I have an announcement to make for the tracking system, which will also be notifying in Discord and through emails later today. So on next Friday, January the 29th, we will be doing a secure node database maintenance. And the database for secure nodes will be offline for around 8 hours, starting at 5 p.m. UTC. And the reason for this maintenance is essentially bringing both secure and supernode tracking servers onto the same code base. So when we deployed single address staking on supernodes at the end of last year, we had to do some database DDL changes, schema changes on the supernode database. And we're going to apply the same schema changes to the secure node database so that we can run the updated build of supernodes as well on secure nodes. This is needed to properly maintain the system and for us to only have to maintain one code base. We generally don't expect any negative impact for anyone through this. So there will be periods where reachability might be impacted, periods where functionality is impacted. So lookups on the websites will not work, but nodes will stay connected. And any impact this causes with regards to exceptions, downtimes on both secure and super nodes for that time frame will be excluded from earnings. So no impact in terms of earnings is expected, and will also disable challenges and email notifications while the maintenance is ongoing. Back to you, Angie.
Great. Thank you, Chronic. Let's continue now with Dean to give us the BD and operations updates.
Hey, everybody. So as usual, I'll be turning it over to Vano and Kaspers. Vano?
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Dean. So we have really good news for today. First of all, it's that Huobi Global, a long-time partner and supporter for our project, has added a USDT spot pair for Zen to already existing BTC and Ethereum pairs, and trading has been live for not even half a day, and the volume is really great there. And Huobi USDT pair is second most popular trading pair for Zen for now. And another exchange listing I will be announcing today is Biki, which is an exchange from Singapore, and they have added USDT peer as well for us. BK is a smaller exchange compared to Huobi, of course, but volume is quite okay there, and Zen is perfectly tradable as well. That's all from me, and now I'm passing it to Guan for Chinese market updates.
Thanks, Valo. This is Guan from China market. Just two quick updates from me. China market right now has more and more new friends who are interested in Horizen. So recently, I received some AMA invitations. The first one will be tomorrow, and I will speak about Horizen on a big China crypto media called 币世界. And the second one is on February the 2nd. There's another really huge event. And I will speak about Web3 on the biggest crypto content platform called Bihu.com. And we are also giving away some Zen swags. If you are Chinese, welcome to join us to win some Zen swags. That's what I will pass the mic to Caspers.
Thank you, Guan. Hi, everybody, and happy Monday to you. On the sidechain partnership side, I just want to say that we have had a lot of success reaching out to potential design partners, and there is probably over a dozen of interesting and exciting projects currently in the pipeline that we want to onboard and work with, but that have not gotten to the MOU stage just yet. So what we are doing at the moment is we are supporting these opportunities and working through them to determine appropriate use cases and POCs. Other than that, I will be turning my attention to a major project that has not yet been announced, but I'm coordinating that with Vano, Lucy, and many other team members. This will be a big Q1 BD campaign, and I am very happy to be managing that process. So stay tuned for more details. That's it from my side. Thanks, and back to you, Angie.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Let's continue now with Jonathan to give us the growth updates.
Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. I just want to start off and say thank you so much to the BD team. The work that you're doing is completely changing this company in such a positive way. It's great to hear all of the new partnerships and exchanges. Every week that we meet, you have something new to announce, and it's amazing. And obviously, it's reflecting, in the markets, all the hard work that your team is doing. And so that's unrelated to growth, but just wanted to say thanks. On the growth side, so again, we're almost doubling our traffic to all of our assets since about 2 weeks ago. And so we've had to actually rework some of the flows and some of the logic for the websites due to high traffic. So we're working on that this week. We're also working on improving SEO for Horizen.io. We'll be looking into that. Again, with higher traffic, everything starts to break pretty much, which is a good problem to have. And then we can optimize for higher amounts of traffic. So again, we'll be improving SEO. With more users, more people notice things that are wrong. So we're continuing to improve all of these little things that we didn't actually know about, like something is confusing on this little esoteric pop-up on the community hub that no one ever noticed before. And now we have so many users, people are noticing it. So it's interesting, all these things that come out of nowhere. So anyway, we're doing optimizations. We're also updating a couple of pages for exchanges. Since we're adding so many, we're updating the technology page. We continue to add new merchants to the merchant page, updating the node pages, and then updating some security features. And that's it for me. Pass it back to you, Angie.
Thank you, Jonathan. Let's continue with Lucy for the marketing updates.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. So, quite short marketing update today, but a lot of work running on the background. So first of all, for our developer community growth, so we had a 4.42% increase in our early adopter program, and 7.96, almost 8% increase on HDE user signups. And all that brings our total developer growth to 7.16%. So this is really strong growth since 2 weeks ago. So really excited to see that, to better empower our community developers and their growing interest in our technology, we are in a work to improve HDE to better facilitate and coordinate that, that kind of community involvement. So I'll be working with Vano on that front, and the community members and ambassadors like Michael and Manon also already, have a lot of good ideas as well about how we can involve the community more to help and contribute via HDE. So we will work with them to leverage the power of our community more. And also our superstar general counsel Dean also got featured in some media outlets, including Cointelegraph last week on a central bank digital currencies topic. So Dean comments in the article that CBDCs should or could raise a Bitcoin awareness. So please take a look. It's a pretty interesting piece. So other than the featured piece, Dean was also a guest at the Decrypt Daily podcast last week. So we will share the episode once it's alive. And as you can see, we are getting a lot of media interest, and then you will see more media mentions and leadership interviews in the coming weeks. And along with that, we are working on some really exciting partnership announcements, as the BD team just mentioned, and all the good work they did. And then we have a lot of partnerships in the work, and our ongoing priority is to roll out these partnerships in the near future. And lastly, we are also working to publish the 2021 roadmap. I know many people are very patiently waiting on that, and then we will publish that very, very soon. That's it from me. Thank you. Back to you, Angie.
Thank you, Lucy. Now let's welcome Rosario for Product and Engineering.
Thank you, Angie. And hi, everyone. We've provided the tech roadmap for 2022 marketing. A little bit of a delay there, but marketing will be updating the website very, very soon. And it shouldn't be a surprise, the major deliveries for 2021 with Zendoo to mainnet and the Lattice, which is our fully decentralized sidechain system with recursive snarks to be turned over for third-party code audit. Just on a separate topic, for awareness and some of the behind-the-scenes work that we do just to make sure that this machine is running well and that we're performing. The engineering and the PM team recently implemented some improvements that will help with the planning and tracking of activities. And this refinement is just a highlight of how we do continuous improvements of our processes and of course our technology, as Alberto had mentioned. For this, and I think we've announced it, but if not, I will do it right now. Angie completed a temporary assignment with the engineering team in Milan, and she was a key contributor to assisting the team in doing this. So a shout out to her, and really proud to see her growth and impact to the engineering team and the whole project. A side note here with HDE, Lucy mentioned, congratulations to Vano, who has become, in addition to his BD role, product owner for HDE. I'm looking forward to seeing a cohesive plan and approach for HDE and the continuation of the functionality of the website, adding additional tasks and monitoring that aspect of developer community. And Angie has been doing a great job managing that, but Vaughn is going to take full ownership and still tap into Angie for assistance. From a Horizen Labs perspective, so some updates here. So we have Celsius. We've started at the development of the Celsius sidechain, which is very exciting. And we will be tapping into the engineering team. So this is going to be a cross collaboration between departments. And for Celsius, we have 3 milestones that we are working on. The first milestone will be delivered in March, and it's mostly from the product team, but we will be eliciting help from the engineering team specifically to work on the CK piece of this delivery. For GameChain, we've completed the sidechain, 80%. There's still additional work that's going to be that's going to be completed later on, but we've turned this over to the game developer for integration. So right now we are moving towards more of a support role in assisting the game developer in implementing this. And it's going to be a little bit of assistance because the game developer is new to blockchain. So we are providing some extra support on that end. And great news is that Luigi has started the game chain node, so that's live and operational. And eventually the node package is going to be transitioned to the game developer. So they're going to be running some nodes as well. That's it for now. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Rosario. Thank you as well for the shout out. Super happy to be able to help the infra and engineering team to be able to contribute and also to be passing over HDE and all the community involvement to Vano. So now let's welcome Rolf to give us any comments or updates. Please, Rolf.
Thanks, Angie. Yeah, I'm really excited about Vano taking responsibility for Horizen development environment. There's so many things that we can do with that. In many different development languages, many different skill sets. And one of the things that I'd love to see on that, and I'm not sure what the best way to go about this might be, but would be to see if we could start doing small little demonstration projects for sidechains. And they don't have to be fancy. When I talk to people, people want to do big involved sidechain projects, but it might be simple to start with something really, really small, like a game or a card game or a tic-tac-toe game or something like that, just to demonstrate it and get people familiar with doing sidechains. Glad to see that the team's working together so well and that we're adding engineers and that everything's on track for the roadmap. Thanks. That's all I got, Angie.
Thank you, Rolf. And now let's welcome Rob for the final part in Q&A session.
Thank you, Angie. And Rolf, I agree. I love the idea of small tractable tasks, and especially even something that Michael from Telegram mentioned recently about getting some community evangelism tasks loaded there, which would be really cool. Okay, on my end, guys, I know we owe you an updated 2021 roadmap. Like Lucy said, it is forthcoming. All of the inputs are being incorporated right now, and you will see the glorious 2021 roadmap shortly. Although, like Rosario said, there aren't too many surprises on there if you've been following these calls. Horizen Labs, is hiring, and Horizen Labs is hiring right now a product manager role, product engineers, core engineers. These roles are going to be based out of the Milan office, but that said, we always welcome Rockstar candidates to apply. And if any Rockstar developers or product managers are listening to this, please do reach out. ZBF, like we mentioned with Vano, taking over the HDE process and getting that really, we know we need to ramp it up. We really want to get a flow of ideas, tasks, projects, Zen flowing to the community. We need to get that going, but one idea that is probably worth the foundation revisiting in the near future is the idea of hiring a developer evangelist. It's something that we put on pause previously, and you guys know the strategy now is things are looking much better financially, but we're still constraining ourselves just so that we can be conservative, and we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. But one of the first roles that we know has always been on the top of the foundation's hiring list is a developer evangelist. So it is something that we may want to consider, again, in the near future. Let's see. So there is a lot of new interest in Horizen these days, obviously, because the market is doing so well for us. But we, again, don't want to get ahead of ourselves, and we still need to be humble and thinking about where we're going and make sure that we don't get distracted and sidetracked at all. Because I love the fact that we're getting more attention. That's always a good thing. But we don't want to let that attention get to us and get us sidetracked to do things that maybe aren't along the core vision and mission and just the technology path that we're on. So we're staying. You'll see in our 2021 roadmap where we're going. But I want to take a minute or two to think through the idea of competitive moat here, because as the project is expanding, it's getting me thinking about our competitive posture in the marketplace. And why are people coming in? Why are people focusing on us? Is our messaging resonating with certain people out there in the marketplace, from people that might want to be end users of our product to people that are coming into our markets? And so the way that I look at competitive moat in a world of open source, it's kind of a complex thing. Really, it includes many parts, and many of the things that we do on a daily basis, we need to give ourselves credit for. Really, give the community and members of the team credit for just relentlessly going out there and just doing their jobs over and over in good markets and bad markets, rain or sunshine, it doesn't matter. We need to always go out there and just deliver on what we say we're going to do. And this goes towards our core brand. And I think the Horizen brand is doing really well right now. It's a brand built around integrity, grit. During bad times, we just stick with it. We don't give up. We never give up. And delivering on what we say we're going to deliver. And we've delivered thus far on some incredible technology, and what's in development right now with Zendoo and getting that to mainnet, and then the recursive snark implementation with Lattice. It is going to be a wild ride, and I'm really excited that 2021 is the year that this is all happening. But it goes beyond that even. So our technology has to be unique. Why do we exist? How or why are we different? Why do we have a right to exist, or at least be part of this very congested marketplace out there? Well, it's not just about the tech. So the tech needs to be unique, but I argue that it goes even deeper than that. It's what we signal by building innovative technology. It's the fact that we have a team that can actually build this stuff, because there aren't very many teams at the end of the day that can actually build this type of sophisticated software and deliver it at very high quality. So the fact that we can do this, the fact that we have a team that can actually do this, to me, is the underlying factor that what makes the unique technology really stand out. And then we can go to run some numbers by you. Our infrastructure is huge and growing. So the fact that we have over 40,000 full nodes in our network that are registered full nodes that are receiving compensation from the block reward, it is huge. So we have the largest node network in the industry. It's growing, and this itself is a competitive edge. The fact that we have a growing hash rate for miners is a competitive edge. If you just launch a project today, you're not guaranteed to be able to compete with a lot of other projects that are out there and seasoned that have significant hash rate for mining pools, from individual miners, from professionals out there that are mining. That itself is competitive edge. The user base, this matters significantly. You hear a lot of exciting stuff coming out of our communications from our business development teams, marketing teams, growth teams. But it's at the end of the day, it's how many people are going to sign up to actually join our ecosystem, from businesses to developers. That's why we have programs out there specifically for developers, like the Early Adopter Program, HDE. It's end users of tools, technology that gets built in this ecosystem, because at the end of the day, network effects matter. And we are in a race to get people to join our ecosystem. And we're doing a pretty good job at it now, but we're not the best out there by any means in all categories. We realize this, but for us, it's a grind. It's about building a machine that's just relentlessly getting out there and growing this ecosystem. And I can promise you, we're going to keep doing that. We're going to keep getting better at it. So are there others with our unique value proposition, and can they deliver on it? Can people, like anyone can put up a website, anyone can put out a white paper, or some version of a roadmap that says that they're going to do everything, but can they actually deliver on it? Do they have this, call it like a combined arms warfare of technology team that can deliver, a product team, business development team, communications teams? Do they have this effective group that can work together and actually get out there and deliver? I argue we've proven ourselves, but we're still just getting warmed up. And the longer we're around, the more people have skin in our game. And skin in our game can be as simple as people that have ordered our cool Horizen t-shirts online, to people that have invested in Zen and everything in between. People that, for a variety of reasons, this project means something to them, and it continues meaning more to them over time. So the fact that we've been doing this and we're connecting with real people in real ways matters. And then there's, again, getting back to the numbers, the fact that we also have venture capital-backed companies supporting our ecosystem, like Horizen Labs, like Pipeline Marketing, is a really big deal. Because we have capital coming in from outside sources that can fund real operations where we can actually hire people. And we can give them paychecks. We can give them a variety of benefits for working with us in different jurisdictions. The fact that we have legal infrastructure to actually launch organizations in different jurisdictions is itself part of this competitive advantage. and now access to markets. I'll wrap it up here. But we have a competitive team that works really well together, but it reflects in our ability to get things like the Grayscale Horizen Trust. The fact that the accredited investors in the United States can buy shares in a trust by the biggest cryptocurrency investment company in the world is huge. And the fact that we are one of less than 10 coins and protocols that actually have the support from Grayscale is enormous, and we could not be happier. We're also part of the DCG family. We have their support across the board, from the protocol to the companies supporting our ecosystem, the VC-backed companies, Horizen Labs, Pipeline Marketing, all part of the DCG portfolio. And that itself has big network effects on its own, gives us access to different markets than we wouldn't have otherwise. And Zen is listed on dozens of exchanges, with many more coming, and not just listings on exchanges, but an increasing set of products on these exchanges. Everything from different trading pairs, like the Wobi USDT listing that you just heard about today, to derivatives products, so that investors with different preferences for their investment horizons, the leverage that they want, and so forth, they can choose different types of products. And these products all have a price in the market. And when prices are slightly divergent across markets, it brings in another wave of traders. So all of these things, my argument is, are synergistic and all work together so that we have this big and growing ecosystem that includes unique technology to people that can actually perform and deliver it, all the way to the other end on market access all over the world that you just don't get if you launch a protocol today from scratch. So that said, we're really happy with the way that we've grown. It's an extremely exciting time to be part of the project, and we're happy you're here. So if you're here, this project means something to you, so get out there and participate. Join somehow, some way, and be part of this growth over the coming year and years to come. Thanks, guys. I'll stop here.
Thank you, Rob. Okay, and thank you everyone for contributing with your questions. So number one is, any DeFi news? You've been preparing sidechains for it.
Oh yes, actually, I was just berated by Dean earlier, our legal counsel, to not give away details on this. But what I can say is we are for sure aggressively pursuing some DeFi options for Horizen, for the ecosystem, to join the massively growing DeFi ecosystem on Ethereum. So I can't give many other details other than we are working some projects to be part of DeFi, to have a Zen product listed in the DeFi ecosystem, and that's probably all that I can say without being yelled at.
Awesome. Second question is, when Zen USD?
That's a really good one. So when Zen USD would be after sidechains go to mainnet, and our engineering brain power can start thinking through how we would design something like that. So we don't have a design now. It is just one of these ideas that is very much up there on our list of things that we want to do. We know is something that we want to have a USD or just stable coin or stable asset product out there, from dollar to euro to renminbi to yen, to whatever other products people want out there, gold. But we don't have any designs yet, so there's really not much more to talk about other than we want to do it.
Awesome. And the third and last question is, when news? Already late if the cycle was to release partnership every 2 weeks.
That's a good one. Good point, noted. And we have a whole bottleneck of announcements that we need to make. So yeah, we'll get to it. I guess we can get off this call and we'll get back to work, and we'll push on getting some of those PRs out.
Yeah, maybe I can add a little to this question. So
Yes.
Yeah, so we are working on releasing some new partnerships right now as we speak. So they're definitely coming. So there is a process to release, every partnership with many moving pieces involved. So the 2-week cycle is a media cycle, meaning that we usually give a ready piece 2 weeks time for pitching and allow previous announcement to gain traction if there's a back-to-back announcement. But we can't always plan exactly one announcement every 2 weeks, because a partnership will move into the PR pipeline when all things are completed, on the initial kind of a BD conversation and planning and contracts and all that. So we can, looking at what the BD team is working on right now and everything that is going on in the background, and I'm pretty confident to say that we do have a long stream of announcement upcoming, and average, our goal is to have 1 to 2 announcement every month, but the 2-week cycle I think is referred to a media cycle instead of our announcement cycle, but they're definitely coming. So
and just to clarify, it's the media cycle is when you're pitching to the different media outlets. So
correct.
It takes a little bit of time to go back and forth to the different journalists and seeing who's interested in the pitch, having meetings with them and going on. Yeah.
Yes, correct. Yeah, when a announcement, when we are ready on our front, like we usually give 2 weeks to pitch to the media, and then for them to, because it takes time for them to also prepare a story too. So
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for contributing to your with your questions. And I guess this is a wrap. Thank you again for attending our weekly Insider. We will see you all next Monday for the latest Horizen updates. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. And Angie, congrats for rocking it in Milan. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Bye,
thanks,
everyone.
everyone.
Have a nice
Have
day.
a great week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.